Okay, wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Cass. You are here on my brand new planner channel. I also have a booktube channel, which is called What Cass Read. And I had been previously putting all of my planner videos on that channel. And I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to make a separate planner channel because that just seems to be like the most easy way to be able to put all of my fun planner thoughts, do a few more different types of things, including fountain pens, fountain pen inks, faith planning, Bible journaling, literally all of the paper planning related things in one spot, and then I can keep my booktube separate. So that's what we are doing today. That's the intro. Welcome to this brand new channel. And I thought I would kick it off with doing my mid-year planner stack, my mid-year planner update, what has been working for me, what has not been working for me. I may have also potentially pre-ordered some things, so there's lots to cover. I will put in my description below that I have already done a Q1 planner update, so if you are interested in that, I will go ahead and put that below. Let's kind of separate these out in terms of the planners that I'm currently using and the extras. There's two separate piles here. This is just fun stuff. I'm actually not going to start with the planner that you probably have the most questions about, which is my Sterling Ink Common Planner. I'm going to save the best for last. So sorry that if you clicked on this specifically for the Sterling Ink Common Planner. If I can remember to do so, I will try and put a timestamp in the video if you don't want to hear about what's going on with these two. So in quarter one, I was happily chugging along with B6 Common Planner as my main everyday planner. I came from the Stalogy world, and I basically treated my B6 Common Planner as a Stalogy. And then what happened is she's thick, she's chunky, so it got really, really big. And typically what happens when I go into a Stalogy is I get to change up my books at some point in time, because if I've filled them up, there's typically not enough pages for me to do all the spreads that I want to do and everything like that. So I actually got the itch to set up a new planner setup for quarter two, and that's what I did here. Okay, I literally had a coughing fit and had to pause. And I'm going to start over again talking about this book. Okay, so this is my A5 Stalogy, which has become my everyday carry. And yes, I do carry this big thing in my work backpack, but I have really been enjoying this size. Let me go ahead and show you really where Q2 started for me. And I transitioned into this Stalogy for the month of May. So these are May spreads. And I really have been enjoying the layout that I've been doing. I've actually been copying the Wonderland 222 layout. And so I just kind of designed a whole new June through December book and put my cleaning, spreads, goals page. Still haven't written anything. Reading log. June reading was pretty bad for me, so I think I only finished 5 or 6 books. Don't mean to be that girl with the Stanley tumbler in the shot. I've been coughing so much. Okay. So this is what June looked like, and I have a whole Stalogy set up, like I said. So the only change that I made to my June setup, and here it is with completely filled in pages. Oh, maybe I didn't do that in June. I did it in July. Okay, this is making so much more sense. June, I realized I didn't have this set up in my Stalogy, and in July, I made a change. So this is what July's spread is looking like. We've got the Sterling Ink subscription kit, Sterling Ink vellum. This is Pion PET tape. And I used actually a pink Crayola Colors of the World marker for the accent color. So this is actually where the change came about. So I was using this calendar layout as a content planning spread. I haven't really done much planning for July yet because work is still busy, but let's see, kept my gratitudes, kept my sleep tracker, and kept the stacked layouts. So I had already made this setup before I began planning in July. And this was what I added. So I added a whole nother calendar spread because I realized I needed to have a quick monthly look at what bills were due at what time. I typically would have that in a separate book. And that book was like a happy planner, 8.5 by 11. It was so gigantic. And I didn't want to carry that around with me all the time just to be able to take a look at when my bills were due. So I added this spread for the month of July. So far it's been going really well. And I can see when things are due. Obviously the 1st and the 15th, I'm sure for many of you it's the same. Literally everything's due on those days. And then I can just highlight as the month goes on. And then August is somewhat set up already. So the Stalogy is still going strong, and I don't currently feel the itch to set up anything different for quarter 3, because that's the beauty of the Stalogy for me, is I really can just make whatever spreads are working for me at the time. And right now, this stacked weekend layout of the Wonderland 222 has been so great. I just put my daily lists in the weekly spreads. I haven't felt the need to do daily pages. And yeah, so quarter 2 really showed me how much I'm loving this Wonderland 222 layout. And for the foreseeable future, that's what I'm going to continue to set up my pages moving into quarter 3. Now, toward the back of the Stalogy, I did some daily journaling, which is such a huge accomplishment for me. I used to be so good at daily journaling. Now I'm not. Now I have a toddler. Now I have much more responsibility at my work. And I just come home at the end of the day and I'm trying to survive through mealtime. So if you have picky toddler eaters, you understand exactly where I'm coming from. So doing the daily journaling, I kept up through the whole month of May. I journaled every single day in the month of May. And honestly, I feel like I deserve a trophy for that. That was a huge accomplishment for me to have every single day accounted for. Then you'll see when I got to June, I made it through 4 whole days. And then I fell off. So I was like, wow, I really put in my time for May. June, not so much. June was just the month that it wasn't it. It wasn't happening. So I haven't set up any July journaling for now. Because the summer is such a busy time for me, it just hasn't been on the top of my priority list to come back in here and do some daily pages. But I still wanted to keep, my back pages. I saved, how many did I save? I think it was like 150. No, how many pages? This is 120. Yes, I saved 120 pages in the back of the Stalogy, specifically for daily journaling. So there's still plenty of room to add it back here. This is a Katie Daisy Year at a Glance calendar. Was testing some marker samples. Yeah, I'm really just, this is what I love to do in my Stalogies, is kind of save a chunk at the back of the book for anything that I might need it for. And I still have, I set up some of my August pages. It's not totally done yet, so I'm not ready to share. But I still have a good bit of the Stalogy paper left. Okay, now we have reached the biggest change of my Q2 planning setup. So you may remember, I was in a Hobonichi weeks for my future planning. And I had it all set up. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. It's so cute. But the truth is, I really don't like horizontal planning. I really don't. And in my coming to terms with that I'm potentially just like a stalogy kind of gal, where I love the flexibility of being able to create my own layouts, I think I've also come to the conclusion that maybe I'm not a Hobonichi gal either. And that almost seems like blasphemous to say. I haven't touched my cousin at all. This was supposed to be all about memory keeping. I stopped doing any kind of weekly spreads in this. Like, I haven't even picked it up since the end of May. So that was something that I quit doing in Q2. And then the other thing I did was I stopped carrying around my Hobonichi weeks. And the exciting thing is I did end up replacing that whole system with this book. What prompted this was honestly because every single year when it comes time for Erin Condren launch season, I have to exercise so much self-control so that I don't order an Erin Condren. Erin Condren, I love so much, love the paper, love the layout, but I don't get along with Coil. And there's a lot of spreads in there that I end up wasting. Like, I just kind of waste paper, and I really don't like that. So I had this planner lying around, and this is a Documented Journey cork folio that I absolutely love. I've had this for several years. I had this planner lying around. I had the Wonderland 222, and it was sitting there blank. And I ordered it long ago. I actually ordered it before I ordered the Sterling Ink Common Planner. And it was sitting here blank because I hadn't figured out what to do with it since I discovered the Common Planner. But I ended up turning this into my future planner. So this is probably the most exciting, for me at least, addition to my system. This one I think is a Virgo and paper sticker. This is Planner Monkey Co. These were the color markers that I used as accent colors, and I set up this entire planner for the whole year. Basically just used my Pooley printer to print out some fun images. This I was copying the book spread. We'll see if I just go back in and backfill. This was me taking a look at my YouTube channel just for funsies. And then these were all the trackers. Okay, sorry, another coughing fit. I think I was talking about how I actually did go back and backfill all of these trackers because I just like the way of it looking for the whole year. And I kept with the theme of each month that I already pre-decorated and pre-set up. I basically just used like all kinds of leftover stickers that I've had lying around. So this was basically just a shop my stash kind of setup. So what I did with the Wonderland 222 pages is they have a really unique layout that I really do love. They have a December review, or like a monthly review, and a monthly overview page. And then they take a look at the month before they get into the weekly spreads. So what I ended up doing for the overview was I put all of the books that I read for that month, and for January I read a lot, so I ended up just using the calendar. And then you go through all of your weekly pages, and then at the very end, instead of doing a review, I just did photo memories, and I used my Pooley printer in those pages. And I've really been enjoying how this turned out. So this was like a fun project I did of like, how am I going to backfill these pages? So I picked a different theme for every single month. And this is where I kind of get my Erin Condren planner fix, and where I can set aside the future planner that I had with the Hobonichi weeks. Because with the Hobonichi weeks, I was setting up the horizontal planner into different columns, and each column represented home, work, and daycare. Well, I basically just did this like Erin Condren vertical boxes because I love a vertical planner. So the top is going to be home, the middle is going to be work, and then the bottom is going to be daycare. And so I was able to make this kind of look like the Erin Condren with the vertical boxes. Stacked weekends aren't a problem for me because there's just like not that much that I have to do in terms of categorizing on the weekends. It's usually going to be home stuff, not work or daycare. And I was able to transition the whole Hobonichi weeks into this. And this has been so much fun and so much better. And then I didn't have to get caught in the hubbub of Erin Condren. Because I'm telling you, it is like a real problem for me to try and resist the Erin Condren launch. I was like, can I make their A5 planners work? It's just, I can't do the coil and I can't do the waisted spreads. So I made it all the way through June. I still have to do my memories page. And then I have the whole year set up. So I can flip, let's see, all the way into September. I've already scheduled my next haircut, so I can put that in there. And like I said, I shopped my stash and had a lot of fun with just kind of like using what I had around to set up different themes for the month. And this has been such an amazing new addition / replacement in my planner setup and in my planner stack. The other cool thing is, since the Wonderland 222 is slightly smaller than like your Japanese B6, this with its own plastic cover can still fit in a folio. And I haven't had any issues. All right. Okay, how do I want to do this? Because as I was like going through my coughing attack, I found a couple more journals. I just want to showcase, these are going to be very, very quick. I set up a commonplace notebook in this. This is a personal size Chic Sparrow, Emma Austin Leather, Cascade Traveler's Notebook. And this is a B6 Stalogy that has been cut down to a B6 slim size. And so that was new. I can go more into how I do common placing. Did I say common planner? This is a commonplace book. And then this is new. This is another one of the documented journey cork folios. And I have put a new, this is a Wonderland 222 A5 notebook that I had lying around. And I decided to do what I'm calling my first chapter project. I basically wanted to transcribe the first chapter of different books. So I've only started with one. This was really like a really recent thing that I decided to do. And so I started with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone because I kind of wanted to pick like the first chapters that really stuck with me. And this is one of those books that the first chapter just like really sticks with you. So this has just been a way for me to do a little transcription project and play with the different fountain pens that I have inked up. And I've been having a lot of fun with this one too. I'm not quite done with my first chapter. I'm very, very close. And I don't know what my next book will be. So that's a very, very quick journal edition. And now we can get to where the Sterling Ink Common Planner came back in. So I was ready to just like ditch the Sterling Ink Common Planner for the time being because I wasn't using it as a planner. But I really, really, really hate wasting paper and I hate wasting dated notebooks. This was something that I created because I kind of got the bug for commonplacing and I had a standard TN kind of hanging out that I had set up but like didn't have anything going on with it. So I turned this into like a faith notebook, a faith commonplace notebook, where I took some notes and then I discovered daily scripture writing. So when I discovered that I really did enjoy the practice of scripture writing, I decided I was going to turn my Sterling Ink Common Planner into my new scripture writing notebook, my new scripture writing planner. I just love the idea of having all of the scriptures that I'm studying in one spot instead of in the commonplace book where it's pretty much all over the place. So what I did then was I just started in June, because here's where I left off in the Common Planner for Q2. April started off really strong. Here were my April pages. And then May is when I made that switch into the Stalogy. So I set up all of my May pages and all of my May layouts, but I didn't use it for any planning. So May was just kind of sitting there. When June rolled around, I didn't want to have June just kind of hanging out by itself again. So I have been writing all the scriptures, and I was kind of testing out different pens. I had only really used like two kinds of pens inside the Common Planner. But I wanted to have fun with my fountain pens. So just another excuse to use fountain pens. Here I was seeing how I liked it in the Uniball Jetstream, my regular pen, which is a Zebra Sarasa Dry. And then the end of the month, I played again with those fountain pens. And so this is, the start of the next week. So because I don't know how much room each different scripture is going to take, or in this particular scripture plan, the 21st, there wasn't anything to study that day, I basically wait until the end of the week to then go back and do some decorating. So this is more of my June Sterling Ink subscription kit. And that's what I plan to do for July. So once I'm done writing the scriptures out for this week, then I can go back with some of my July sticker kit decorations and then go in and like back decorate it, which is not something I typically do. I typically go in and decorate the page way ahead of time. But because, I just don't know if they're going to take up a lot of room or no room or whatever. So I'm going to try it out for July, just doing some like back decorating. And then you can see, let's go to my April daily pages. So this is when I was still going very, very strong in the Sterling Ink Common Planner and using it as my everyday carry. And I have the Sterling Ink kit. This is some Lauren Phelps Designs washi. This is, oh my gosh, who is the artist? If I can remember the artist for this one, I'll go ahead and link it below. But those were some stickers I ordered from like Japanese stationery shops on Etsy. Here's my sleep tracker. Didn't do a great job in April. And then for the longest time, like this is how I was planning all throughout 2022 pretty much. And so Q1, I was just kind of going with the flow. And then that's when I got bored. So I used to put the week at the top and then do some Alistair method planning. And that's kind of how I would plan ahead for the week. And then I would put an inbox here for this week and to do. And then each page I split up into 2 days per page. And this is where I would do my daily listing. And so 2022, I was in a B6 and that's like all I pretty much did. So I kept up all of those layouts all the way through April. It was what I did all through Q1. Sterling Ink Planner sub kit. And then this is also, these two washi's are Lauren Phelps Designs. And then you can see May has already been set up. So this is some Lauren Phelps Designs washi. This is Paper Minty Studios PET tape. And then the rest was the Sterling Ink sub kit. And when I got to May, I realized that I was sick of doing this layout. And so it's so tragic because it looks so beautiful. Here's some Lauren Phelps Designs washi. Gosh, so beautiful. But I ended up not filling out any of these daily pages. So once again, I hate wasting paper like this. And I was really like unsure of what I wanted to do with the back pages. So once I got my idea of turning this into my scripture journal, then I set up June, like where I was starting with the scripture plan. And then in the weekly pages, that's when I kind of backfilled and played with pens of writing the scriptures out. But I decided to use the daily pages to do the soap study method. So I kept up with my June daily stickers, threw in some washi and some deco, but the soap study method, this is kind of how I'm doing it now, where I basically just square off a page, and so I make it into 4 quarters. And the soap study method stands for scripture, observation, application, and prayer. And that's what I've been doing in the back pages. So I'll take my daily scripture of the day and then do my soap study and then end the day in prayer and playing with my pens. And this is how I'm going to use the back pages. So I'm really excited about this. And I've set up July, and I'm playing with some new colors for July. But I've set up, I think, all the pages in July. Or did I only set up... Oh, no, I did. I did all the pages up to July 31st. And I decided to keep this, like, separating it into 4 quarters. So then I could have an equal amount of space per section. And I'm really excited to continue this for quarter 3. And I'm feeling really, really good about keeping this as the scripture journal. Now, the only other thing that has been consistent is going to be this. This is my 5-year journal. Just wanted to mention it. It is still going strong. I have done now basically a 1.5 years worth of daily memory keeping in my 5-year journal. And, you know, I put pictures and everything in here, which is turning out pretty cool. And this is still Chic Sparrow, Darcy, Austin, Mr. Darcy. It's the Austin Leather Mr. Darcy color. There we go. And this is the Heritage Pocket. So this is still going strong, not going anywhere. Wow, I made it. Thank you so much for joining me amidst all of the coughing fits. You don't know on your side, but on my side, I had to pause this 3 times and pick up filming 3 times, 3 separate times. So thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoy whatever way I kind of stitch this whole thing together. But thank you so much for joining me for my Q2, my mid-year planning update. And I'm very, very excited about how I'm planning on using this common planner now. Because it feels really good to not waste this beautiful planner, you know? Just because I'm kind of having a moment with Stalogy again. I did not want to waste all of the beautiful pages, and we're going to see how the second half of the year goes with my scripture writing plan. If you're brand new here, I hope that you stay and subscribe. I know at the beginning of this video, I kind of like threw it all out at you at once, but this is a brand new channel that I'm just kind of breaking off from my booktube channel so that way I can keep all of the wonderful planner stuff in one particular spot. So I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and do all of the engagement things, like, comment. All of that's really going to help me out in this new venture. And I'm excited to just kind of give you more of the planner kind of content in its own home and its own space. And I hope that you'll join me. So thank you again. And you know how these videos end. If you follow me on What Cass Read, that's how I end every video. That's not going to change. Bye.